All right, welcome back, everyone. We have Brenmiller Energy Limited. It trades on the NASDAQ under the symbol BNRG and helps energy-intensive industries and power producers end their reliance on fossil fuel boilers. Brenmiller's patented bGen thermal battery is a modular and scalable energy storage system that turns renewable electricity into zero-emission heat. Happy to welcome its COO, Nir Brenmiller. Welcome back to the conference, Nir. I know you got some updates today.
Yeah, great to be here again. Thank you for having me. I'm going to run through a presentation because maybe we have some, some new guys who never heard of. And we have a new deck released today on our website, and we're going to run through it. And so I'll just go right in. Okay, so we are in the net zero business. 25% of global emission, a staggering number, is coming out of industrial heat. This is the untapped part of fighting climate change or just energy transition. And we have developed a technology to cope with that challenge. So industrial boilers are a huge, huge part of the energy mixture. And if you want to replace boilers with something electrical, you need something that can buy electricity at cheap prices, because if you have to pay peak prices, you can never be economical. And this is exactly what we have developed over the years. We have a device, ETES, thermal energy storage, or you can just call it a heat battery. We charge it when the prices are the cheapest. We store the heat, and then we discharge on demand. It can be 24 hours, can be whatever the customer needs. We are in a market that is absolutely crazy in size. Just our segment is valued at over $150 billion. So the opportunity is just huge. These heat batteries are enabling you also to charge when the renewable energy is out there or when the grid is available. Maybe now the grid is packed and you cannot take electricity off the grid. There is a huge, huge difference between peak prices and off-peak prices. We'll get to it shortly. And it's important for me to say already in this stage that this is not some sort of a dream. We are already a revenue-generating company. We just moved into the growth stage, and we are now building and starting the operation of 3 plants. So at a glance, we had pilots with some of the leading utilities in the world, like New York Power Authority and Enel from Europe. And then we showcased the technology. We showcased that the economics are there. And we moved into sales. We have the first 3 projects with a subsidiary of Heineken, with a hospital, with a very large pet food manufacturer in Hungary. And we are now starting to build up our pipeline and early revenues. We have already put in place a gigafactory. I'll get to it shortly, but it's already fully automated and enables us to get the margins we need. We're over 50 people just here, and also getting recognized all across the globe from Time Magazine as Best Invention of 2023, to Bloomberg, to Edison Awards finalist, and the European Commission, Seal of Excellence, European Investment Bank Innovation Champion. These all helps us to build credibility and enter into large corporates. Our team, which is absolutely the best, is not doing it for the first time. We already developed the thermal solar technology. We already built a company that sold in the billions, and we already sold the company to Siemens for just under $500 million. I believe we are doing it again, but with something that is much bigger. And we really hope to show the market soon that it's happening. So what's the opportunity? The opportunity here in terms of the buy side, where you get your energy, is the difference between average prices and low prices. Now, I'm not comparing to the peak prices that are absolutely crazy, but you can see now, mainly in Europe, but it's coming to the US, wherever you have high penetration of renewables, you have a huge gap between the average price of energy, of electricity, to the low end, to the low 4 hours. And we enjoy this by buying at the low. Now you can see here that it's a trend. Okay, you can see in 2020 the difference between average and low 4 hours, and you can see in 2024 everything goes green. Green means good business for us because we can sell at high prices and buy at low prices. This trend is only getting stronger. You hear about negative prices because renewable adoption is on track. You never know when the wind is going to blow, when the sun is going to shine. You can't meet exactly the supply and demand, so you have to balance the grid, and this is a great opportunity for us. This is the device we have developed. It's a thermal battery that stores heat at crushed rocks. All the materials are eco-friendly. Everything is fully recyclable. It's unlimited cycles. We built it for over 30 years of lifespan. It's a modular, no hazardous material, nothing deteriorates over time, no chemistry. It's a physical device. It's patented, and we can put out steam or hot air or thermal oil, whatever the industrial user needs. A little bit more about how you turn rocks into heat batteries. So we have these crushed rocks of a certain type, but it's widely available at low cost. We compact it into thin metal cells. Then we stack it into 12-meter, it's 40-foot long modules. We are assembling those into a structure. Then we insert electrical heaters, and you can see on the bottom, you have the full project, the full device ready to dispatch heat and charge with electricity. We already set up, using the European Union finance, a gigafactory, the first of its kind in the world. We can produce 4 gigawatts per year, equivalent to over $200 million sales, net sales of heat batteries. And this is an Industry 4 factory. We can then keep our margins, that we can then make money because we are a fully vertically integrated company. We take in raw materials and we put out systems. A little bit about the business model. We are a company that sells services mainly. We do so because then we can have multiple revenue streams, not just sell equipment with a certain margin and follow-on services. We also do that, but for utility companies, for example, but mainly we are coming to the end client. We offer him a discount over his current prices. We're not selling the fact that it's 100% clean. It's not enough. It's a bonus. We are offering a discount because we can buy electricity at low cost and compete with natural gas, but for sure with other fuels that are more expensive and polluting. And then we can earn money by enjoying the arbitrage of the electricity prices. We can earn money by selling the steam as a service, and you have dramatically higher returns, recurrent revenues, and the value of energy as a service is just way higher than selling equipment. You see on the right here that the green is the time where we charge opportunistically, and the gray is the customer profile. It doesn't feel that you charge whenever the grid is available. Main market for us today is Europe, because you saw the differences in tariffs, and natural gas prices are volatile and high, but it's coming to the US. We have a lot of opportunities also in the US and the rest of the world. I'll get to it shortly. In the US, we already have a local partner, Rock Storage. We already have a growing pipeline of over $200 million. We are using a lot of local regulation to industrial decarb and made in the US to grow the pipeline. And I believe that in the short term, already this year, we'll see the first signals to this market. I'm going to go a little bit about current updates for those of you who heard the story already. We recently signed in Hungary, I think first of its kind contract where we have 2 customers for the same system. We have the off-taker, a large pet food manufacturer plant. But we also have the grid. We are providing grid services. We are helping the grid to stabilize. So we get paid by helping the grid to stabilize. and then we get paid again to dispatching this heat. And this is a great project with very nice returns. We project that it will yield at least 18% project IRR. So this is a great project. We also joined forces with a large grid player in Germany. And through that, we are now accessing the German market, which is a huge potential. And we are really optimistic that the industrial market in Germany will be a great customer and a client for our systems and solutions. Beyond Europe, this is the main activity of the company now. We are building our first full-scale commercial project for a subsidiary of Heineken. It's a huge brewery. This project is well underway. We are letting you know about the progress. We just announced a few days ago that we made the second payment milestone. We are on track to fully constructed by mid this year. So it will be extremely helpful to showcase the rest of the pipeline customers that we have a system that is running on a commercial environment, and this is a 24/7 environment producing a lot of it's a producer of Pepsi here, Heineken, and all the brands that are not Coca-Cola. It's a huge effort and a huge milestone for the company. In parallel, we have a hospital that also is well on the way, the Wolfson Hospital. We are replacing diesel boilers, and this project is also well on the way. Scaling production and US expansion. We have signed and executed a partnership with Tutco. It's a huge, maybe the largest of its kind, heat component manufacturer. This really helps us to productize and get margins for the product and improve and be more available for fast growth in terms of productivity of our production floor. And we also signed a distribution agreement with Rock Storage in the US. And as I mentioned, the pipeline there is growing really fast, faster than we have imagined, and we are really happy about it. Another game changer for us is the last product we announced, which is zero thermal oil. Industrial heat goes mainly as steam, but a huge market is using thermal oil. Thermal oil, you can exchange steam to thermal oil, but then you lose some efficiency. In this new product, we have the best efficiency you can imagine because we do all the exchanges inside. I don't want to get too techy here, but it will help us to provide thermal oil in prices that will be extremely competitive to the existing alternative and increase our market and our pipeline in the short term. So we are excited about it. And I think that this will be something that will be pretty unique for our technology. Let's see some short-term monetization and expected sales. This is something that we have released today. So in the really short term, selling 2 projects from our pipeline to really help us finance and move forward, so we will not have to dilute and get this on the top co. We have reached the second payment in Heineken Tempo, and we expect to recognize some revenues from the piloting stages from the NL project. Moving forward, we believe that in 25 we can reach at least $10 million sales, new signed projects from our pipeline, mainly in Europe, but also we believe we can get a term sheet, interesting term sheet in the US market, and I hope we can deliver this and more. So Anna, I think we stop here and move to some questions, and then we leave some time for the audience.
Okay, great. So you talked about entering 2025 with a commercial pipeline exceeding 500 million across multiple global markets. So what's driving the demand and how do you see it evolving over the next few years?
I showed the $150 billion market. So if you are providing an alternative that is economical to natural gas, and I didn't say anything about being green, and just a good offer for a client to hedge his prices for many years and get a discount, it speaks for itself. We do nearly zero marketing. Okay, everything comes to us. So I believe this pipeline is going to grow, and I believe that the execution of the pipeline will grow exponentially once we get the first system on the way, and people will see the Heineken project and some additional project generating revenues or saving energy cost as promised. It will be really easy to grow the pipeline and the orders.
And so you said the term game changer, your bGen zero system, it's gaining recognition. It is a game changer in TES. So talk about how its performance compares to conventional lithium-based systems. What makes it superior?
Well, we compete with boilers and other thermal solutions. This is a very common question we get because people know lithium-ion, they have their car battery or their cell phone battery, but it's like comparing actually cars to ships. These ride on roads, your lithium-ion is great for electricity. It's great for grid. It take electricity from the grid and get it back. But if you need industrial heat, these actually don't compete, and we are not concerned at all from lithium-ion as competition.
And last week, congratulations, you announced being named a finalist for the 2025 Edison Best New Products Award. So what does that mean? How does this recognition, validation position you against competitors, and what does it mean for potential partnerships?
Well, thermal batteries are going to replace boilers, that's a fact, because it makes sense economically. Now, it's not easy for a client to be an early mover, or people moving from horses to cars. I don't know how many years ago it wasn't easy to say we don't need horses, right? So once you get these recognitions, I think it's much easier internally for the clients to sell it internally, saying, look, it's recognized. People are moving into thermal batteries. So it really helps us to build credibility and accelerate the pipeline and the sales.
Talk a little bit more, you mentioned it, but the major deployments, like the 32 is that megawatt system or megahertz system for Tempo. It was owned by Heineken. And then the 30, talk a little bit about that, these projects, and how it will influence the financial and environmental value of your technology.
Well, these are really full-scale installations where in the market today, you can mainly find really small-scale pilots. I think that this will accelerate dramatically our business, also other businesses, because people can see that this thing is going live in full scale for AAA clients. This is really important, and this is why 25 for us is execution year. Okay, we are less concerned if we're going to sell 10 million or 15 or 20. We are 100% behind delivering this system at 120% capacity. So next year we can sell in other magnitudes.
And Brenmiller operates the world's first TES gigafactory and has expanded into North America. So talk about what that is and how can this help scale your expansion strategies, especially when talking revenue generating?
Well, if you are using third-tier suppliers all around the globe, you cannot make money. If you control your supply chain, you can. Also, the trend, and there is a huge deglobalization People want to see made in the US products. In Europe, they want to see made in the EU products. We have built this gigafactory as a product by itself. We can set it up in few months everywhere in the globe, so we can make it local. That's part of our strategy. And this factory is fully functioning now. And, you know, once the US pipeline will start converting into actual sales, you know, I think it will make a lot of sense to build another one in the US, and we can do it in a few months' time.
And talk a little bit about your bGen ZTO system, $8 billion market opportunity. Yeah. So what industries stand to benefit from this innovation?
Yeah, as I mentioned, there is a huge market for thermal oil in the food and beverage, in chemistry. It's an extremely traditional market because you have to keep the temperatures of the oil. We have found an amazing way to incorporate it into our product and deliver 100% almost efficient system to heat thermal oil in a clean way. So this will absolutely help us to get more pipeline, more clients, and provide more solution to industrial applications.
A question from Grace, the bGen Zero Heat battery. What is the maintenance on that? What's its lifespan?
So we build it according to all standards to last at least 30 years. That's a great question. Compared to other solutions, this is really a close to zero maintenance system. You have to clean it here and there. You have to replace heaters once in a few years. But the maintenance cost and downtime is really low, extremely low. It's a passive machine. It's really simple to operate and maintain.
We have a question from George. He wants to know when he can get more information on revenues and margins. When do you put out guidance?
It's a little bit early for us. We don't want to overpromise. I think that we have enough on our plate to show that we are an early stage company, but with strong foundations and early growth signs. I think that the revenues in the near future, I don't want to say we're going to have X, then we have 80% X, but the X is so low. I think we really prefer to delay it a little bit until we have a clear picture on the pace we are getting these orders in. And the margins, you know, they're going to be a little bit lower at the beginning and dramatically higher when we get, you know, the system into full capacity. So we are a little bit conservative with putting out these announcements.
Makes sense. Max wants you to talk a little bit about where is the growth? Is it geographically? Is it growing customers? What other markets can you get into?
It's both. We don't need other markets. We already have so much on our plate. We just need to execute. You know, we invest a lot of time and effort in AAA, the largest corporates out there. We invest sometimes years getting into these corporates like we had with Philip Morris or with Heineken. Once you're there, once they have one system that is working according to the spec, they have hundreds of sites. You can grow inside or organically. So in terms of growth, I think that this is really not something that I am worried about. We have enough, as long as you are competitive to natural gas, as long as your systems are performing well, we will have for the foreseeing future enough market and growth.
And I'm going to kind of close with this. A viewer saying Brenmiller has significant infrastructure in place. It sets you apart from other sub-dollar price companies that are often in early development stages. So with your 440 million projected pipeline soon to be monetized, how do you see this value proposition resonating with the market?
Well, we have a lot of confidence we need to build confidence because It took us 13 years to reach this point where we are actually in the market. During these years, we've been public for 8 years, so the investors did not see a company that is generating revenues. They only saw fundraising and dilution, and it was really not easy to keep the dream alive for so many years. But now things are happening, and I believe that today or tomorrow, in a month or in a few months' time, the market will see and understand that this is not a $10 million company. Okay, we have so much money in, the technology is working. You have the largest corporate out there who are absolutely adopting it and saying it's for real, and we are buying it. And I think that at some point, by the way, private companies that are far behind us, raising capital in the billions. And so we have some gap here. I hope we can close it. We need the markets to be positive, of course, because you cannot do anything if the markets are red. But I think that things are moving, things are changing. We are not concerned about this administration because we are competitive to fossil fuels. We don't need any discounts. We don't need any, green incentives. So I'm positive. I think that our investors and those who are running with us now, we see fruits in their labor, and this is what we've been working really hard for.
And with that said, what would your closing message be to those looking for an opportunity in the clean energy space?
Well, I think that first, the opportunity needs to come in the energy space. Clean is a bonus today. I think that we provide the perfect solution because we are cheap, clean, and in a market which is extremely hot. Just Google thermal batteries. You see that Bill Gates is invested in 6 companies. You see that BlackRock is investing in this space. It's like investing in solar 30 years ago. So I think it's an amazing opportunity, and I hope that the market will understand it in the short term.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Nir, so much. Great presentation, great work, and we look forward to seeing you again real soon.
Thank you, Anna. Looking forward.
All right, everyone, we'll be right back.